Red Sox update for you. They made a signing today. Aroldis Chapman. Jeez, I knew I was going to butcher that. Aroldis Chapman, 1 year, 10.75?
Yep.
For them constitutes a big signing. Maz, your thoughts?
Okay, so I have a hard time getting excited about Aroldis Chapman when they have a lot bigger needs.
How old is he?
37. He'll be 37 when the season starts.
How fast does he throw? Does he still throw 100?
Right about. Yeah, I mean, he still throws hard. He's not my kind of guy, okay? He's just not, because he walks a crap ton of people. In the last 3 years, he's walked an average of 6 guys per 9 innings. That is astronomically high.
For a guy at the back of the bullpen, it's death.
Okay, so this is what it should tell you. If you are looking for an analytics type of signing,
bingo,
this is it.
They don't care about walks?
No, they don't. They don't care about walks. In fact, 52% of all plate appearances against this guy were walk or strikeout. 52%.
Well, that's interesting.
He's hard to hit.
That's fun to watch.
Okay, he's still hard to hit because he throws so damn hard, but he's horrible to watch.
He's also mentally weak, right? I mean, how many times, especially when he was with the Yankees, you'd see him in high leverage situations, sweating, and he can't find the plate. He might be able to throw gas, but he's erratic.
No, he's all over the place, Murray, and that really, this is what he's sort of deteriorated into as he was like this at the beginning. He's been this way his whole career, really. I remember when the Red Sox worked him out because they were one of the teams that were interested in him when he first came over from Cuba. And that day they did it before the ballpark opened. But I remember people around the ballpark saying he's really, really raw. Really raw. Throws the crap out of it, but it's all over the place. He's never really changed. It's never really gotten all that much better. He had a couple of years in there where the walks went down. He was better, but there was never anything that lasted. So to me, he's the kind of guy that scares the crap out of me in the late innings because I don't believe in putting men on base. The analysts will say, well, he can walk the bases loaded if he gets out of it. That's all we care about. So I'm eager to see how fans respond to him because I think he's going to be one of these guys that, the heart attack closer. I don't think he's going to close for them. He didn't close much for Pittsburgh, maybe a third of the time. David Bednar was their closer the majority of the time. So they may use him as a backup closer and, power lefty, as they say. But just one point of note, the on-base percentage against him by left-handed batters was .380.
Oh, that's high.
Really high. Now, again, the batting average, low 200s.
Right.
He's hard to hit. But tell me how they're going to use him. If he's the guy that's going to, finish games, he's going to make you crap your pants before you leave the ballpark.
It's the latest on Juan Soto.
So, to me, this one's all over the map. There have been all kinds of reports, and Murray, you can probably attest to this too as Jimmy Stewart, and I say that only because you guys spend more time on Twitter than I do. But Twitter's been all over the place. Some people say, somebody had a tweet the other day that said Juan Soto has agreed to terms with the New York Mets, New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, and Los Angeles Dodgers to pitch 40 games for each at the end of the season. But that's what it felt like online. There's been a little bit of everything. I still think it's going to be one of the two New York teams. That's my gut, that he's either going to stay with the Yankees or the Mets are going to grossly overpay him. And I think the stories that have come out about the Yankees increasing their offer and him sitting down with the Mets are all a way to say that, those teams are responding to the Red Sox having made an offer. You follow me? Like some of the first reports that came out is the Red Sox have increased their offer to Juan Soto. I think all of that was designed to get more out of the New York teams, or at least that's the way it's being portrayed.
This is Scott Boras doing his thing, right?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Look, I could be wrong. I still have a hard time believing that the Red Sox, after letting Mookie Betts go for, call it $350 million, are now going to give $550 to this guy. That makes no sense.
Yeah, and I think their interest is real, but part of me thinks they're doing this because it's a reaction to the reaction from the fan base in recent years. You feel like we're being hung out to dry here. Right. You have this money, you're not doing anything. But then again, I don't know, it makes me feel like, okay, maybe they're starting to get it, but how much should they get it when they just signed Aroldis Chapman, who has a history of domestic violence as well? Do you really have your finger on the pulse? I think that probably bothers a section of the fan base.
Yeah, so look, I don't remember when the Chapman thing was, and I'm not telling you it's insignificant, but he came back Right, he's pitched with other organizations.
No, I think it goes back like 8-10 years.
Yeah,
like
so
that,
I think there's been enough of a gap there where you can say maybe he learned from it, or like his image has been at least partially rehabilitated with other franchises, and you're bringing him for 1 year. Like if there's any sort of problem, you cut bait, you move on. To me, that one is not. I don't look at that much. I don't know how good he is. Like, and if it's Chapman and Soto, that's not enough. So I'll keep saying this until I sound like Nick Cattles now, until I turn blue in the face when he was with Jones. I do not want Juan Soto if that's it. I don't want him. They don't need a left-handed hitting outfielder. What they need is starting pitching. Now, if Soto is a means to then trade some of the hitters they have, and they feel more comfortable to trade Tristan Casas if they get Soto because they'll give up on a 26-year-old or a 25-year-old if they have Soto locked up for a dozen years, fine, no problem. I get the logic. But as long as it's all angled towards getting pitching, fine. But I just have a hard time believing he's going to pick here or that they're going to give him the money.
Final baseball item we want to get to. Mazz put this in front of us this morning, the email chain. Baseball considering rule changes. They're in an era now where they're considering rule changes on a yearly basis. Thank God it took them way too long to get to this point. And here's the latest to come across our desk. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred recently told Puck's John Hourland, what's Puck, whoever, told a podcast that the golden at-bat rule has been discussed throughout the league. As the story says, most probably haven't heard of the proposal for a golden at-bat. But the basic concept is that a team could choose one at-bat in every game to use its best hitter regardless of where they are in the lineup. Simple as that. You get to take someone from the bottom, play them at the top. There's a big spot. You get to hit them whenever you want. You get to activate him once during a game, whenever you want to use him at any point in time. So if, for example, say the New York Yankees had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, they could bring Aaron Judge to the plate even if it wasn't his turn in the order. It would be a one-time replacement, not a substitution like a pinch hitter. There could be variations on it as well. The Athletics' Jason Stark points out restricting the rule only to teams trailing at the time could be an interesting constraint. It could also lead to scenarios where a hitter bats one spot before his turn in the lineup. So what would happen if he gets on base? Would the original hitter take his spot on the bases for the golden hitter to step back into the batter's box for a second consecutive at-bat? There's a ton to think about and think through with this rule. Manfred clarified on the podcast that, quote, that rule and things like that are in the conversation-only stage right now. Your thoughts on the golden at-bat? Murray, I'll start with you.
I love it. I mean, I just tune in because, again, I don't hold sports to like some sacred cow status. I'm for anything that will alter it to make it better and to make me, the consumer, a little bit more entertained. I read it. I love it. If it's going to be making it more like a video game, 100% in. That one question I have, though, that was just brought up in Jason Stark's column, though, was, say Shohei Ohtani is on second base, and the Dodgers decide, we need you again. Do they then put in a pinch runner and Ohtani comes off second to bat again? Like, yes. That would be wild.
Yes. The one I like is we get to double him up. It's like
two in a row.
His spot's coming up in the order. So you hit him, you use the golden at bat in the 2-hole. Then his turn is in the 3-hole. I don't know where he hits, but you know what I mean. You use it the at bat before him, so you get him back to back.
Right. So the Dodgers hit him leadoff in the playoffs.
Okay, so you hit him ninth, and then he's the golden at bat in the 9 spot, and then he comes up again in the first. And if he gets on base, you have to use a pinch runner for him. Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
How do you feel about it?
Love it. Love it. And when I say, you say, yeah, Mazz, how can you love it? I thought you were a purist.
You're not a purist.
No, I'm not. And I would tell you, this is precisely the kind of stuff that baseball needs to do. And if it doesn't work and it turns into be a clown show, then switch it back. No big deal. Like, see, it's fine. They have to. And here's the other thing that I love. It will send the nerds running for the hills. Oh, they won't know what the hell to do with it.
You should see the outcry online already. Just the mere mention of it has them. Like, oh,
When's the optimal time to use it? Do you do 2 in a row? Do you hold it till later in the game? Do you do it early in the game if you get the bases loaded with 2 outs or 1 out? You can send your best guy up twice in a row. When do you do it? They're going to have no data on it. They won't know how to handle it. Teams will have no idea how it's going to impact the rest of the game and how it's going to shake things up, which is why I like it. I don't want them to know. That's when you get the good stuff. When nobody understands what the ramifications are, that's when you get the good stuff.
So I'm out. I'm out on it. I'm a no.
I like it. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.